Welcome to Live from M-5. We're your hosts, Celeste Contratto and Eitan Rubinstein. Today we are here with
Eli Anderson.
Dane Magnussen.
Awesome. Okay. We are just going to get started, and we're going to talk about kind of how you guys got to know each other and when this friendship started.
Yeah. Well, we had 2 classes together last year, and so we kind of like knew each other, kind of like talked a little bit, but not like super close friends. And then he became like super close with Colin Gore, who's like one of my good friends, I would say. So then this year just kind of like became friends with him through Colin.
Okay, cool. So just last year?
We had classes from last year, but it really started over the summer.
Okay.
Like Colin introduced me. I already knew him, but like I don't know, going to church and stuff, we got closer.
Okay, cool. So do you guys go to the same church?
Yeah.
Okay, what church is that?
Bayside Blue Oaks.
Okay, very nice. So how would you say that like going to church has helped you guys like kind of become friends?
Well, at church you're pretty vulnerable, so I feel like being in a vulnerable spot for both of us just helped us connect a lot better. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, the whole theme of the yearbook is connection, right? So what would you say is like probably the most meaningful connection you guys have made, like as friends or like going to church or something like that? Like what's the most meaningful impact that you guys have had or most meaningful connection you guys have made?
I would say just like when I met him in church, just like, I saw him coming to church, and like that's a big part of my life. And so I saw him start going with Colin. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, I knew him in class. I was like, oh, he's a pretty chill guy.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, if he's friends with Colin, who's also like a pretty chill guy, then like, he sounds like a cool dude, and he's going to church. Like, I want to be friends with him.
Okay, let's break that down. You said church is like a really big part of your life. Why?
I was raised like in a Christian household, and then I went to Mexico in spring with like my church, and that kind of like completely changed my life and just made me have like a love for Jesus and just want to like pursue that in my life. That's kind of like my goal of my life.
Can you break down the Mexico trip for me?
So basically, like, as a church, we all go to Mexico, and there's 2 different groups. There's like Impact and there's Construction. So like I think there's like 2,000 kids or something, like insane. It's a ton of kids that go.
Okay.
And you go, and you're either Impact, where you just go interact with like the local churches, and like there's kids you just go play with, like read a story from the Bible and like do arts and crafts and play games with them.
That's cool. Okay.
Or there's like Construction, where you like build a house and like you give it to a family that's in need of like a house.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And so like just through all that, like I don't think there's like a specific moment, but just like going there and like seeing all that and just like a ton of other factors that were happening down there kind of like changed what I thought of like what like being Christian meant, and like kind of made me really want to like devote my life to that.
Okay. What group were you part of?
I was Impact, so I was talking to kids and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Is there any like specific memory that like when you think of Mexico?
I would say like the last day, because you have to say bye to the kids.
Yeah.
And there was like this one little guy. I never knew his name because like we asked a ton of people and they like all said different names, so I'd call him my little jit. And and so like the last day, he's probably like 3 or 4, so he just like was in my arms just sobbing, crying. I have a little picture in my bedroom of us together, so that's kind of my memory.
How did it like change your life coming back? You said that it kind of changed your perspective on what Christianity was. What did you actively do in your life that changed?
I think it just like, because obviously going to Mexico, like there's a lot of less for like just a lot of like poverty and like, people that are going through a lot of stuff where we don't really see that in Rockland. And then it's like, I'll go interact with the kids there, and like they're all like way happier than like a ton of people, like most of the kids now from like Rockland. And it's like, if these people can find joy in like what they have, then like how am I gonna just not find joy in all that I have? So that's kind of like coming back. I just try to find like my base thing is just like be positive, be encouragement, just love other people, and then like if people are doing the same, then like like don't let it go unspoken. Like just if someone's like made my day, I'll just go text them and go like, yeah, you made my day today.
Yeah. 100%.
It's just like try to just try to be like a positive impact on people.
Yeah. What does that journey look like for you, Dane, like going through Christianity and getting involved in church?
Well, I've never been to Mexico for church, but I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people, it's just like you're able to connect with people more because like you're at a place like where you're both vulnerable, like I said, and then like you're both like at a place like where you're both interested. I don't know. I feel like you can connect really easily and like talk about like deeper things than just what's going on in your life, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just meeting like Eli, I don't know, it's helped me be in the church more and just like grow in my faith.
Do you want to give us some like example? It's okay if you don't, like some examples of like some deeper conversations that you've been able to have when you're both like feeling vulnerable or
just I don't know, past experiences. I don't want to go deep into the
No,
past
for sure.
experiences, but I don't know, just talking about things that like common experiences that we've shared.
Yeah, 100%.
And like just like walking, like going with both in our walk.
Yeah. What would you say is the most helpful thing that you've learned like in this past year? Like just going to church or hanging out with each other or like reading the Bible. What's the most like I would tell this to past Dane or past Eli? Like what is that like thing for you guys?
My thing is trusting God's plan. I just went to there was this Bible conference at Bayside Granite Bay, and there's this one guy from the UK, and he just talked about that, like trusting the plan, like everything will all come together at some point in your life, even though if it's not like what you want right now. So I don't know. That's like a big thing that I live by.
Yeah, 100%.
I think for me, it's like connection, because it says like in the Bible, or two or more are gathered, like that's where like I am, like that's where God is. And so making those connections, that's like a positive thing, and like being able to find like, because like this is my first time I've had like a group of good, like just friends that are like a good positive impact on me and like help me out and aren't being negative. And so like if I had to tell myself, my past self something, I'd just be like, try to find those people sooner.
Yeah.
How do you think the vulnerability that you guys have experienced in church have translated into the relationships that you bring onto our campus at Rockland?
I think it's just like at church, you kind of just like, everybody's kind of like vulnerable. And so it's really easy to make those connections. And then if you bring that, like me and Dane, when we come to Rockland, like we'll just like be like, for me at least, like I'm super comfortable with Dane. And so like I'll be talking about like vulnerable stuff in front of like a ton of other people, because I'm just like, Dane's there. And so it's like not like, it's not like I do it on purpose. I'm not like, I'm going to go talk to all my friends about this, but it's like if I have like Colin, Dane, Jake Schneider, then it's like, you know, they're all like my good friends that go to church, and like I've shared stuff I haven't really shared with anybody else with them. And so it's like just doing that at school, like because they're here at school, is just like that's how I make connections with other people, by like just talking to my friends.
Yeah, 100%. So church it's a big part of your lives, but is there any other like kind of thing that you guys do? Is there anything like on campus that you guys do? Maybe like a club or anything like that? Definitely not trying to get specific or anything.
Snowboarding. I don't know.
I don't snowboard.
Yeah,
I really want to though.
That's how me and Colin got close, which kind of all came together, and that's how I got close to them, I guess.
Okay.
I guess you could connect that. But snowboarding, I don't know. I just love it. It's just something I would love to do every day. And like, there's not a lot of things like people have in their lives that they would go out and do every day. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just like a big passion of mine.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I've been saying this for like a lot of years that I really want to get into snowboarding, because it sounds like a blast. But I just haven't had like people to take me snowboarding. But then also like club, if you're trying not to get specific, I would say like Bible study club
Okay.
at lunch in Hardy's room. Like me and Colin are both leaders of that club. And so like me and Colin are close because like we're close. And then Dane, because of that, he's close with both of us. Like you come, like I would say like majority of the time you're there.
Yeah.
How did that start? Did you guys take that over from someone or?
Yeah, so last year, Jake Winter and Cam Fudena, I think that's how you say his last name, they started it. I think they just started because they just wanted like more like Bible study on campus. And so like, I want to start a club. And I don't even know how official it is. Like we didn't have a club rush thing or anything. Like we just are just like, I don't know. We're not super formal with it. And so I think in Hardy is, if you talk to him, he's a big believer and he's not scared to share his faith with anybody. And so just like they did it, and then me and like they all go to the same church as us. So me, Kira McGuckin, Colin Gore, and then Cam's little brother, Caden, they kind of said like, oh, you guys would be good leaders for next year. Like, hope you guys continue it.
Yeah, 100%.
How has Mr. Hardy's like support through that club, and I know FCA too, how has that like helped shape your guys' passion for discipling people on our campus?
I think it's just like for anybody, if you just like listen to him talk, like he'll talk about it, even if you're like in his class, not even going to a club, like he'll talk about how much of a devoted like worshiper of God he is, and like that's just like a really good encouragement for anybody that hears it, that like you don't have to be shy about your faith. And so I think that's like, and then also FCA and stuff, like he talks sometimes at like Bible study, FCA, he'll just share a little thing about his life or something he heard and that he wanted to share. And so I think for me personally, he's just like said like, oh, you guys should go read your Bible more. Like that's a big part of having a relationship with God. And I've just started like reading a verse a day. Yeah. And like there's a ton of people that are just like, I'll like post it on Instagram just because like it keeps me way more consistent, because if I don't post, then like people will ask me why. And so I just want to make sure I'm consistent, because I know it's like hard for me to find motivation sometimes. But I'll have like my friends' little brothers that are like freshmen and sophomores go like, yeah, I saw your verse of the day, bro. It's sick. I'm just like, oh, thanks, dude. Like, I don't do it for other people to see it, but like, it's cool.
I've heard a lot of people talk about it already, and they're like, oh, like, did you see Eli's verse? And I think a lot of people are inspired by that kind of like devotion to outwardly be like, this is who I am. This is like what I believe in. How do you guys think you're going to, like, as we're going into the end of senior year, stuff like that, how do you guys think you're going to continue growing your relationships with God and discipling and bringing other people to the church?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
You're good.
That's okay. Like, how do you think, as you're going into college and whatever your guys' plans are, how are you planning to continue growing your relationship with God and bringing other people to God?
I don't know. Eli's kind of opened me up a little bit. I'm more of a open guy now. Because Eli, he just like, I don't know, he's helped me out with that. So I don't know, just finding those people, like wherever I go for college or whatever, wherever I'm led in life, I just like finding those people and bringing people with me and just expanding my group. But it was just be a hard thing, because like college is a very, like, depends on where you go, but it's a very like worldly place, you know, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just finding those people that you have common like thoughts with, and then expanding yourself to help out the people around you.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's like a pretty hard question to answer, because it's like you're supposed to, like, as you were saying, like trust God's plan, but then also like we have to make a decision of where we want to go for college, or like what our next step is, and it's like, how do we glorify God in that? I think that's like a really big question. Like one of my family friends asked me that, and I was like speechless. I didn't really know how to answer that, which I think I'm still trying to figure out. And so I don't know. I just try to leave a lot up to him, but I still have to make a decision at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like ideas of where you guys are wanting to go?
I'm going to 4-year, but I'm still figuring out the college.
The like specifics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm looking. My sister and my stepsister, like, they both go down in San Diego, so I might be going down to San Diego, but I'm staying in California.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I actually have no clue. I know I want to go to college. That's about as far as I've gone.
Fair enough. I mean, you don't have to have everything figured out. I talk to a lot of people who, I mean, are old for us, but when they were our age, they had no idea. And everyone's like, "Oh, where are you going to college? What are you doing with the rest of your life?" And nobody had any idea when they were our age. So I feel like the fact that people think you should know everything it's just stupid.
Yeah. And it's a really big thing that you guys are talking about, trusting God's plan, like making sure you don't. It's a decision that you have to make ultimately, but it's really important, because I think people get super stressed out about what I'm supposed to do and where I'm supposed to go, and ultimately it's where God wants you to end up is what's the most important.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, goodness, I don't really have any more questions. You guys are answering very concisely, which is good. Do you guys want to tell me a story about like just a moment when, or you don't have to share, but maybe when you guys actually like first came to faith, Do you guys like want to share that story?
I think, I mean, for me, it was Mexico. I was raised as a Christian my whole life, or I was like raised in a Christian household,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't like, I had a couple friends like Jake Winter, Asher Runyon, like they kind of got me more going to youth group and like more excited to go there just because my friends were there. And they're like, oh, we're all going to Mexico. You should come with us. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I want to go to Mexico. It sounds fun. And then like that, as I said, like that completely changed my life.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it really happened. Well, I grew up in a Christian household, like going to church with my dad, but COVID kind of like all messed that up.
For sure.
And I kind of strayed away. But this last I'd say like the start of this year, this summer, I really started to grow in my faith, and like because I was pretty down in the dumps, I guess like you could say last semester, first semester of junior year. So I don't know, just this summer, like meeting Eli really helped me out, and yeah.
Is there like any specific sermon or like verse that like sticks out to you guys as something that like you hold like close to your heart to like get through like hard times in your life?
Yeah, well, I talked about that one sermon of that UK guy, from the guy from the UK. But one verse I like to think about is Luke 1:37. For nothing shall be impossible with God. So like just know like that you can, anything you set your mind to, and like if it's in God's plan, you'll be able to do it.
I think there's not like a specific sermon, but I think one of my favorite like quotes I can remember from like a guy that was preaching is that the world can't knock you off your feet if you're already on your knees. Just like we should be submitting to God and like not like don't let the world like shake you, and like the world's not going to shake you if you're already like submitting to God.
Yeah.
And then if I had to choose a verse, I might be quoting it wrong, but John 6:35, Jesus said, "I'm the bread of life." It's either like choose me, and you'll never thirst. Believe in me, and you'll never hunger. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just kind of like I think a good overview of like what being a Christian is like because they ate bread all the time back when like the Bible was written and so like that was like their food every day, and like never thirst, never hunger. It's like he will provide for us. That's kind of just like how I take from it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that quote is super important too. Like, the quote, you shared that with me like probably a month ago. I definitely think about it like every day. That's like such a good quote to like just like think about when like worldly things are getting you down and stuff like that, that like God should be the one that we're turning to ultimately. I think both of those verses are great. My favorite verse is Isaiah 60:22. It says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen, which I think is very much what we're talking about with trusting God's plan.
Yeah. 100%. So you play football.
Yeah.
You
plays.
you like play volleyball, take pictures, right?
Yeah.
So how would you say that, I mean, how do I word this? How would you say that God has like allowed you to get where you are in both what you're doing, and how he like helps you?
I think because I went up to Simpson University, which is up in Reading. They invited me out to go take photos of a football game, and they're like an NAIA school, so it's all like they have. I don't know if they have like preach or like whatever sermons built into like their curriculum, but like they're super like Christ centered.
Yeah.
And so I went up there and just talked to the professor about like taking photos, and she said like kind of put it in perspective for me that like us taking photos for other people, like that's a way of serving them, and like that's what like God calls us to do, is like serve others. And so like doing that has definitely made me like, or hearing that has like definitely made me a lot more passionate about like taking photos, which I already liked. And then I was like, oh, if I'm like glorifying God while doing this, like that's awesome. Like I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't know really how to answer that question. You know?
It's all good.
Like, I don't know, just
Even just like how does it make you like feel grateful for God for the opportunities that we've been given? Just kind of like how Eli was talking about, like the differences that we have versus the kids in Mexico. Like, how are you feeling about like the opportunities that you've been given by God?
I was very grateful, you know. I don't really know what to say about like that because obviously sports is a big part of my life, but just doing it for not for myself, just doing it for just to like, I don't know. And like a team is also like a big, like you're really close with everybody and just hopefully like trying to get the people that I know I'm close to on that team, like close to God.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, because this is Dane. You shared something with like one of our Bible studies. He said that like, because obviously there's like football. There's kind of like there's like a stereotype that like in the locker room there's not a negative talk. And you said like, just I'm gonna be kind of like generic, but like you said there's somebody talking bad about another person. You kind of like stood up and said like, yeah, that's not cool. Even if like your teammates made fun of you, like it's just like I think that's like a way God's changed your life. Which I don't know if you did it before, but like I definitely see like God strengthening you to keep like try to persuade people to do the right thing and not do the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you, guys.
This has been live from M-5. Thank you so much, guys.
Alrighty.